record on this computer. Okay, so welcome to the next level session for what is today, 26th of August. We do these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can find the schedule in KV Core. There's a link to insiderealestate.info/calendar. It's just a training link, and you can see all these sessions coming up. And of late, I've had a lot of fun having a few guests on. We had Brody Saunders from Ideal Estate on yesterday, and today we have Donna without her less intelligent half, as he just told me, Michael Stott. So I don't know if anybody listening knows who you guys are, but Mike and Donna are the founders of yourcoachingmatters.com. And we've known each other a long time, right, Donna?
We have.
Yeah.
We did an event together probably 10 years ago.
Yeah. In
Atlanta together.
Yep.
You remember that?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they double booked us on that last day and we had to go down the street to have another conference room.
That's right.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was good though. And, I think over the years, Mike, I've learned a lot from him and from you, especially, I mentioned to people that we might do some FSBO and expired stuff today. I know that's kind of Mike's forte. So for those of you who heard me say that earlier in the week, I think I'm going to loop back and maybe get Mike in the next few weeks to do FSBOs and expireds.
Great. I'm happy to talk on it if you have questions as well, but he is the expert.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that you do a lot of stuff around, accountability and goal setting.
I do.
Yeah. And things like that. So maybe I'll let you talk a little. You just want to tell us a little bit about kind of yourself and what you guys special in with Your Coaching Matters. And guys, this isn't a sales pitch call. I've known Mike and Donna forever. We reconnected a couple of weeks ago. I was like, just come on and talk to this audience because
absolutely,
I know you have a lot to share. Yeah.
I would be happy to. Happy to. Mike and I have both been in real estate forever. We're 59 years old, 59 years young. He started at age 18. I started at age 24. And we both were successful real estate agents and then managed offices for other realtors, big offices. There were 2 offices in Orlando, Florida that I helped manage and grow. There were 2 offices in Hawaii that Mike helped manage and grow. And we met at a real estate sales conference and ended up a year and a half later married, and I moved to Hawaii, where we built a team, a family-owned and operated team. We did over 100 transactions a year for 10 years in a row, with our peak year in 2005 or 6. Mike just walked in the door, and we sold 181 homes that year and grossed a little bit over $2.5 million in gross commission, 2.67. Mike's here correcting me on stuff. Maybe I'll come off of my headset if he's going to sit here. No? Okay. All right. Great. He's saying hello. All right. So in any case, we were very successful real estate agents in our own right. And I kind of bring that up because somebody this week, I mentioned something about maybe this might be a reason to get a coach. And he said, all the coaches I've ever known are failed real estate agents. And I thought, maybe I should tell people a little bit more about the success we had as realtors. We dabble in real estate sales today. We still do a little real estate sales today, and we'll gross about $400,000 in income this year based on what we have closed, under contract, and listed for sale right now if we just lay down and don't do much more. I did that math this morning. Quite honestly, it was more than I thought it was, but it's been a good year. So what I do 90% of my time and about 50% of Mike's time is coach real estate agents. And we don't do it because it makes a lot of money. We do it because we have a passion for helping people do what we have done and what we do, which is sell real estate at a very nice income level without as much stress as maybe we had before we learned some of the techniques that we use now. Now, one of the programs that we use that is very, very successful is something called our Know Your Numbers Tracker. All right. And I'm happy to share screen and talk. Let me talk a bit about it a little bit, and then you can let me know
Yeah.
Ryan, if you want me to share screen or not, I don't know what you'd have to do for me to do that, because it doesn't look like it's something I can do easily from here without something else. The other thing I could do is just to give you the login and password from the website to be able to get in that way as well. So I can do that too.
If you give me that over Facebook, I'll grab it in case I forget mine. But that was one of the things we were talking about.
Right. Was numbers tracker.
Yeah. I tend to talk a lot about lead generation and conversions, and a lot of the features inside of KV Core revolve around generating web traffic and generating a whole bunch of leads.
Right.
Now, I am aware that there's this other line of thinking around this where maybe you don't need to generate 1,000 leads a month.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if you could do something like one of our coaching clients this year, Steve Williams out of Jacksonville Beach, has 150 core people that he works with, 150 people that he's identified that he does marketing to, and he doesn't market to anyone else. That's all he markets to is these 150 people. He had 42 closed year to date from referrals from those 150 people in June.
Okay. So he's referral focused
yeah. And I like to tell the story about Rose Pagonis, who was one of our clients that came to one of our events many years ago. And Rose took 5,000 people she had in her database and said, I'm only going to work with those people who I really love and love me. And she narrowed it down to 161 people. Yeah. And then she tracked, then all she did, again, like Steve, and Steve took this from Rosie, is just work those 161 people and nobody else. She had over 90 closed transactions in 1 year from those 161 people. Those numbers, by the way, work out to a little over 55% return on a small group of people. And I actually have a program I'm starting called 150 to Life, right. 150TOLIFE.com. And I'm helping people to build that list of 150. And there's actually some logic behind that, some science called Dunbar's number. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Dunbar's number.
Yes.
So
let's
So Dunbar's number, he did some research, has to do with the size of your cortex and the size of your body in human beings compared to primates, all this stuff. You don't need to know it all. But basically what it boils down to is we can only have 150 meaningful connections in our lives. And it was like, holy cow, that's what Steve does. That's what Rosie does. That's what we do. So to create a tremendous amount of business.
You mean these like 3,000 or 4,000 people on Facebook aren't really my friends?
No, there's 150. Okay. That would actually connect with you and refer you business.
Right.
There's like 150. I've seen some studies, because there's like Dunbar's theory debunked and all of this, if you look it up, but it's somewhere between 150 and 290, depending on the study, but it's not thousands.
Right.
Okay. It's a small group of people. And if you work that small group of people correctly, they will refer you business. If they're the right people, if you work them correctly and consistently, they will refer you business, and they'll be raving fans looking for business for you. Do you know what Seth Godin says? He says, when you have that right small tribe, you don't need to market anymore to anyone else again, because those people will market for you. When you're really good, they tell other people about you, and you don't need to do it.
Yes.
It's really fascinating.
It's a little eye-opening for me again. And I think I know that there's lots of ways to kind of skin the cat in real estate. So a lot of us will go after a couple hundred leads a month, and we'll hope to convert 1%, a year.
Right.
And a lot of times the math still works because it's a great business.
Sure it is. Yeah. But are you able to give those people enough attention that then they refer business to you?
Yeah, not everybody. And referral and generating referral business, which is the easiest business to get, becomes kind of an afterthought if you're so.
It's also the most lucrative.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, I'm glad you came on and started talking about that right away, because that was the most value I got out of our conversation. It got me thinking a little bit more about my own behaviors, right? And shifted some paradigms for me. And what's interesting, Donna, you don't know this, and I know that you don't really sponsor any specific CRMs, but we are actually along this line of thinking. We're actually actively developing a few tools in KV Core, a few new playbooks that focus on working that sphere and generating referral business.
Right.
And when you showed me your numbers tracker again a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, this is something that would also be very useful. To somebody who really wants to pay attention to that small sphere.
Right. And so, I'm happy to show you that the person, that Steve Williams that I mentioned, he's only 1 out of 60 clients that we have. And we don't take on a lot of coaching clients, just very, very few. And again, we don't do a lot of marketing. You may not have heard of Your Coaching Matters because most of our clients come from clients that we already have. Okay. But if you would like to take a look at our numbers tracker and what that looks like, I'm happy to show it to you right there. I will tell you where to log in.
Sure.
Okay. So at the top of that page that you're looking at there, which is at yourcoachingmatters.com, if you'll click on member login, and then I want you to click on the numbers tracker and YCMpedia login.
I think I have I'm going to try real quick.
Well, now, because I don't want you to go in on your own.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So I want you to put in an email address that is NUMBERS numbers at tracker.com. Okay.
At tracker.com?
Yep. It's a fake email address.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then I'm going to create a password, so don't enter it yet. I'm going to create a password that says KV Core, all lowercase. KV, right? KV like Victor, CORE. Am I right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to hit update right now. So go ahead and try and put that in as password.
Beautiful.
All right, good. So what you're looking at there, and you may want to make your screen a little bit bigger. Yeah, plus. This is the daily tracking page. This is an under numbers tracker. You just track every day your contacts, your buyer and seller leads, just their name and its source. That's all you need. It doesn't replace your CRM. How many appointments you go on, how many listings you take, price reductions, accepted contracts. You can see down the left-hand side. These are things we call money-making activities. Okay. And you can see I did a numbers tracker tutorial today. And so it's filled out because this is my test user site that I'm teaching people how to use it on. All right. So where the magic comes is, let's take a look at, so as you track these numbers over a period of time, you actually begin to run your business like a small business rather than like I'm just throwing stuff against the wall and see what sticks. All right. Yeah. So let's take a look at the agent overview page. So at the top, the tab there, it says agent overview. Sure. All right. So under agent overview, once you are entering your numbers, you're very easy to see how many active listings I have, how many days they've been on the market. This is a fake site. You don't have houses on the market for 100 days anymore. Yeah. What I have under contract, my pendings, and then what I have that's closed this year to date. If you keep scrolling down, you can see what's canceled and expired. And again, this is just a test site, so it shows you. But at a glance, and by the way, if you hit print on this page, it prints out on a beautiful little one sheet for you. Cool. You can see where you stand, right? You can see where you stand at any given time. Now, this is great as a snapshot of where I stand today, all right? Nice to know, but what does it mean in context of my entire business? Well, when you use numbers tracker, you also set goals each year. So if you want to use the tab at the top that says goal setting, and obviously I'm not going to do the whole tutorial here today, but if you use the tab that says goal setting, so at the end of each year, you set goals for the previous year. Now notice this is not real complicated. This is just a few numbers that we enter that give you your goals for your year. And in the program, it's programmed to be able to tell you, what do these numbers mean? What do I actually need to do? So go ahead and go to the tab that says keys to your income, because on the keys to your income, it tells you what this person needs to do with those goals to meet their goals. Okay. So in that upper left-hand box, it says your key numbers. Notice that the total transactions test user wants to do this year is 58 transactions. See it?
Yep.
And that if they do that, they'll make $428,000 in income.
Sounds like enough.
The system will tell them that that means they've got to communicate with 62 people a week. It's not 62 people, it's 62 contacts.
So
I mean, 62 two-way conversations. Okay.
Two-way, where the person's talking to you and you've reached out and then they've talked back to you.
Correct. Whether that's by text and they reply, or by email and they reply, or by phone and they call you back, or you reach them when you talk to them on the phone, or however, right? Two-way communications. So test user needs 62 weekly contacts. In their goals, they said they were going to work 5 days a week. So that works out to the next item down, which is 12.43 contacts a day. Okay, that's what that works out. It also says they're going to need to generate 5 new leads every week. All right.
What's
Tells
a
them
lead?
exactly. A lead is somebody who, well, you define it, but in my definition, it's about how many people well, a lead is somebody who's going to do business with you in the near future.
So they're
near
talking
future
to
in
you,
general.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying, I would like to sell my house, or I'd like to buy a house.
So in KV Core, I'm trying to, part of my job, I got to kind of tie this in.
Okay.
So in KV Core, that kind of looks like our actives or clients in our funnel here.
Right. And in this system, you've got leads that are active and you can make leads done. Okay. But yeah, it's new people. Right. So I need 5 new people every week to do 58 transactions a year.
Doesn't sound too hard. It sounds like one.
That's 20 a month.
Yeah.
Not hundreds, right?
Right.
It's 20. Listing presentations. It tells you how many listing presentations you need to go on to make 58 sales this year. Based on, I set it up for 75% sellers, 25% buyers when I did the goal setting. Right. I need 68 listing presentations. I expect to take 51 of them. 43 of those. Yeah, 43 of those will close in the year. Some of them will carry forward to the next year. Some of them will cancel, right? And then how many listings would close out of that? Or 51 listings taken, 43 listings closed, 72 buyer appointments, 14 buyers closed. These are ratios that all came from the goal setting that you set up. Right. If you go down to the bottom line requirements, that means for the year, I need 2,610 contacts. I'll have a total of 200 leads for the year. For every contact, it takes me 51 contacts to take a listing, 180 contacts to get a buyer sale. That just has to do with the numbers that you put in. All right.
So you kind of know after a while of doing this, you kind of know your own ratios and you refine the
yeah. So in the goal setting, you're going to play with what do those ratios. I give you some suggested numbers in the goal setting. So like click in the box on goal setting that says, for example, how many contacts to get a seller lead. It's like the 4th one down. So just click in that box. It says 10. Notice up to the right, it tells you what to enter in there. How many people do I need to contact to generate a seller lead? You know, normal range is somewhere between 10 and 15. Lower end if I'm calling expireds and FSBOs, higher end if I'm cold calling.
And you guys generate a lot of your expired and FSBO business by directly contacting them. Yeah.
Correct. Contacting them in some way. Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So we have in the past, we've gotten a big bunch of our FSBOs, listings from FSBOs and expireds over years. But as the market has changed the last couple of years, it's a smaller percentage with a much larger percentage coming from past client center of influence referral.
Yeah, it's a good point. When you get a shift into a market like
this. When the market shifts, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, so right now, you know, we don't need to make that many contacts a day when you've got one investor that buys 7 properties from you this year.
Right.
You see?
Because you've treated them really well.
Yeah, exactly. So you've done a great job for them and they want to buy another one. So you develop trust over time to where, I just found a good investment. I have 25 investors I send out to when I find a good one. And inevitably one of them, because I don't send them something every day. It's only when I really find a good one.
Something you would buy.
And they will buy it. I mean, we sold to 4 investors last week. They were all investors that have bought with us before, except for one who was one of our investors' friends.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So he said to his friend, I'm going to buy one. Do you want one too? Use them. They're really good. You see?
Right. But you don't get that. You're not able to get him to do that if you're focused on 100 leads every day.
Correct. Because you got to spend some time developing that relationship, which is why Dunbar says you can only have 150 of those.
Gotcha.
You see?
Yeah.
So in the keys to your income, if you want to go back there, this is at the end of the year, you actually have an analysis of exactly how your business went. You know what your ratios are. You know what you need to work on. Maybe I'm going on more listing appointments than I need to for the listings I'm taking. Maybe I need to tighten up my presentation. Maybe I'm taking listings that aren't selling. I need to tighten up my pricing or my marketing.
Yeah.
It tells you what you need to do. That middle column that says expected and the last column says actual always bypasses to from the beginning of the year to today. That's where I should be. So if you're looking at your key numbers, just that top line, test users, goals 58, they should be at 38 closed right now. They're at 25, okay? So test user is behind my fake person here, okay?
So this brings, you know, the solo real estate agent, even the team, it brings them in the mindset that a lot of big corporate the companies are in. And for me, when I came to work at a company like Inside Real Estate, I had always been a real estate agent at small places. I started to learn the power of actually looking at the numbers every month and having to hit that goal. And somehow you actually end up hitting it, because
it's amazing. If you do not have a target, you can't hit it.
Yeah.
Okay. But all of the data here is driven from two places. Once a year when you set up your goal setting page, and every week when you're filling out your daily tracking page. That's it. That's all you have to do is set your goals once a year. You go to daily tracking and fill in your numbers every day. And then if you're meeting with a coach or a manager, go over that keys to your income page with them on a quarterly basis. Awesome. That's all you got to do. It's pretty simple.
And then the nitty gritty details, the CRM, how you're generating leads, you know, you got to house all these people somewhere, so that the people watching this webinar, naturally, you're going to use KV Core.
Correct.
You're going to tag people certain ways. Don, I know you don't know the system, but you know, you use hashtags to say, hey, this is an investor. This is a past client that I'm trying to nurture. Maybe you have some automated smart campaigns going out, but all of this stuff I'm talking about is tactical. But it needs, you're going to do better if you start with this tracking.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. If you're going to run a small business, you better know your numbers if you want it to be repeatable and duplicatable, and if you want it to improve year after year.
Great. So
you want it to get easier.
Yeah. So any questions from anybody watching? And we didn't have a lot prepared. I don't think you came on to sell the Know Your Numbers tracker. It was just something natural for us to talk about because we didn't have the FSBOs. I'm sure people are going to ask me how. Just go to your website and check that out. Is that
regarding FSBOs and expireds?
No, the Know Your Numbers tracker.
No, they can't look at it without talking to us. This is available to our coaching clients and our group coaching clients. If somebody wants a numbers tracker on their own, I'm happy to, just email me at numbers@yourcoachingmatters.com.
Yeah.
Numbers@yourcoachingmatters.com. You can email me and I can talk to you about it. But I'll tell you the truth is it's a very disciplined person that can do numbers tracker without somebody that they're reporting to.
That's why you're not selling the software in a wider space, because there's not going to be success without.
I've sold it to lots of people who then don't use it.
Right.
And I just hate to do that. So we have a group coaching program that's very inexpensive, and it includes numbers tracker.
Cool. Yeah. And I think the bigger takeaway here is, is in managing that smaller group and in actually tracking.
Correct.
So everybody watching, you can kind of see things that get tracked. You can track a lot of this in KV Core in a way. And I'm hopeful that in the future, maybe we have some of this tracking functionality, a little bit more of it. But yeah, any questions from anybody?
It'd be awesome. This can be used in the meantime. I mean, I have clients that have been using this since 2009.
Yeah.
So they've got data in here going way, way back. I love it when a coaching client will say to me, I never do good in the second quarter. And I say, really, let's go look.
Yeah, maybe we should take a vacation.
I can go to their keys to their income, select the year, put in the second quarter, and we can look year over year over year at what they've done each quarter, each second quarter of each year.
Cool.
We have a saying that success, it comes from Dr. Maria Nemeth. We didn't make this up. Success is doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. All right. That's what success is. It's doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. You don't get clarity and focus without knowing what your target is. You don't get clarity and focus. You cannot be consistent without knowing what it is to be consistent about.
Yeah. Who was that again?
Really,
I just want to give credit on
that. Was Dr. Maria Nemeth, Nemeth. She wrote a book called Mastering Life's Energies. And, I don't define your success, you define it. And if you don't define it, it's hard to have it.
Yeah. Very cool. So what kind of stuff do you guys do to keep those 150 people engaged with you?
It's really a really good question. I can tell you what Rose does and what Steve does and what we do. And the main thing, of course, is keeping in contact with them on a really regular basis. Now, am I calling them all and saying, hey, are you ready to list or sell? List or buy? No, right? I'm calling and saying, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? Real estate's the best business in the world, because if you just strike up a conversation with someone and they tell you about what's going on in their life, do you recognize if there's an opportunity for you to help them or not? Right. Yes. Right.
So Donna, one of the
a little awkward if I sold refrigerators and I said, how old's your refrigerator? Right. But if I said to you, where do you guys live? It's a normal question. You see?
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to show you here a cool feature in KV Core. Maybe you could tell some of your clients about it. But for the people watching, I don't know if everybody's aware. I just need to find a contact with a phone number. Here we go. You can actually schedule a set number of calls over a set period of time. So if you have a past client, you can say, repeat calls, I want to do 4 calls over the course of the next year, and the system will pop up those 4 follow-ups on your main dashboard. So
great,
pretty simple feature, but that's kind of what you're doing, Donna. You're just checking in on people.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in each contact you make or each attempted contact creates the date of the next contact schedule.
Right.
Okay. So based on the conversation or lack of conversation, I am going to create my next contact date. So let's say I haven't talked to you in a while. I leave a message, I send an email, I drop a postcard in the mail. I might schedule you next week, because if I don't hear from you by next week, maybe something's going on.
Right.
You see? Dennis asked in the chat, how do you join group coaching? You can go to the yourcoachingmatters.com website and it'll lead you through. Yeah. Or throw your email in there, Dennis, and Kayla will contact you. All right. So sorry, I got distracted. What was I saying, Ryan?
Yeah. So you're saying.
Yeah. So each contact, right? Each contact create the next contact, right?
Right.
So let me tell you about one in general. You have a really good person, like my investor that has bought 7 properties from us in the last couple of years, which I'll tell you how I met him. It's a really funny story. Anyway, he referred his friend to us, right? So I'm going to talk to him like every month. How you doing? How's the family? How's your daughter?
Right.
Looks like the investments are doing well. I might even say, when are you going to buy another one? You see?
Right.
I'm going to talk to him often, because he's gotten to the point that he's telling other people about us. He's going to get a lot of my attention.
So
what else? Go ahead.
How do you do that? Do you use like a calendar, or do you use a
whatever your CRM is, just schedule the next contact date.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And KV Core, that's very simple to do.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
I believe that your CRM shouldn't let you leave a contact without scheduling the next contact or making that person done.
It shouldn't.
Right.
Right.
You should either have to schedule a next contact or make them done. I'm not following up with them anymore. Those should be your only 2 options.
That's very interesting. We have this filtering behavior in here. And I wonder if we have it, but we might want to add a filter that's like, doesn't have next contact scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Because why would you talk to anybody once?
Right. Yeah, we have.
Okay. Remember, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact.
Right.
Right. All right. So don't stop. If you're not going to call You got to go to www.yourcoachingmatters.com.
Kathleen, I do the same thing.
www.yourcoachingmatters.com.
Don, I'll fix that for you guys.
Good, thank you.
It's a quick thing. All right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, and are you on here? Good. My assistant Kayla's on there, so she'll get your information there, Kathleen. Thank you for asking. All right. So yes, each contact schedule the next contact. So don't make it rocket science. Don't make it. I think if you only have 150 people, you don't need a big system around that. You just need to schedule the next contact each time. You see, that's all you have to do is schedule the next contact. You make a contact, you schedule the next one. Does next week make sense, or am I going to Europe for 2 months and so I'm going to call you 3 months from now? You see?
Yeah.
So schedule. Just do that. Don't try and game the system. Just make your contacts and schedule the next contact.
Yeah, I'm going to
go ahead.
I'm going to get a feature added and I'm going to ask for it that, yes, anybody who doesn't have a next contact scheduled.
It's okay if you make them done. Make people done liberally, okay? But on purpose, don't call them anymore. Not by accident, you see? It's okay to, on purpose, decide not to follow up with somebody anymore. What's a criminal is that we're allowed to do it. We're allowed to make that mistake by accident.
So you used to, I'm sure in the beginning, you would call people. Do you text them first now, or do you try the call?
Here's the thing. You decide what works for you and your demographic, okay?
Yep.
So if I'm working a lot of 20 to 30 to maybe even 40 somethings, I might text rather than call, right? If I'm working a lot of people who are about to move into assisted living, I might just call,
right?
You see? So it depends on your demographic. There may be a demographic, or maybe most of the people I work with, I'm Facebook friends with, and all I do is Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
I have some coaching clients that only communicate with me on Facebook Messenger. I don't understand it. I don't care. However you want to communicate with me is okay with me.
So just contact people where they are.
Yeah, our definition of a contact and numbers tracker is two-way communication between you and another person in which they understand your realtor and you'd love to help them or someone they know. That's it. That's a contact. Two-way communication. How do you do two-way communication in today's world? Okay, you can call, you can text, you can leave a message, they can call you back, you can email, they can email you back, you can LinkedIn message, you can Facebook message, you can tweet them. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah.
Whatever method of contact your people want and need and you use, do that.
So I'm going to kind of merge our two worlds together and say that if you are driving the 100 leads a week or a month or a day, that and the system like KV Core is getting you an auto text back from the person, as long as you reply back and you're talking to them, we can count that.
That's a contact.
Yeah.
Two-way communication.
But the lead generated into the system, I think, with the online lead generation in particular, people think that just because somebody clicked on a property on Facebook and they opted in, that doesn't count. That's
no, you have to communicate with them.
Yeah.
There's got to be communication.
Yeah.
Not, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're calling me. I just bought a house. I just clicked on that by accident. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So two-way communication. So how else are Rose and Steve and the Stotts doing? Well, we email something we call a warm fuzzy email every month. So we send something that just says, this is what's going on in the market. This is what we've done this month. We might say, here's a picture of my grandkid. It's personal. It's just a warm fuzzy email.
Personal stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's just personal stuff, right? Because we're friends. With your core group, you're friends.
Right.
Right. So we do a warm fuzzy email. Another thing you can do, one of my coaching clients does 2 events a year that only her core group gets invited to. So she recently did a really nice wine and cheese tasting at her office. I had some really nice winery come in and they sold some wine to people who wanted to buy them, but they did wine tasting. They had some cheeses, they had nuts. Everybody had a good time in a wine glass, right?
Yeah.
That's an event for a small group of people. You could budget that. Okay. And before COVID, they were doing other things like picnics and that kind of stuff. right? Just small group things where they start to, you'll find that when you get your core 150, they merge together, right? They know, they learn each other. They support each other. You see?
It becomes a community almost.
It becomes a little community and you're the hub.
Oh, cool.
You get it?
Yep.
So what else could you do? You put something in the mail so they have something tangible.
I like this idea.
If they give you a referral, you send them a Starbucks card. If they just have something that maybe you're in send out cards and you track them on social media and you see that they just had a grandbaby and you send a heartfelt send out card that has a picture of them and their grandbaby on it.
You said send a heartfelt thanks.io card, right?
It send out cards has like regular cards, like happy birthday cards, and then they have something they call heartfelt cards. Right. And that just means that you've uploaded your own picture.
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
I'm kidding around.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. So you're doing stuff personal for them. So every year you make a plan as to what am I going to do? Maybe you pick your favorite book of the year. And in November and December, you mail one to your 150 people and say, this is my favorite book this year. I hope you enjoy. You could do that year after year. You see, with that group of people. Yeah. I have a coaching client who does at the end of the year right before Thanksgiving. So November 1st, she sends an email and a letter to her core group and says, I've been in the business, started when she was 25 years in the business. I've been in business 25 years. I'm going to give $2,500 away, $100 to 25 different charities. You write me or email me back the charity you'd like me to support this year. Tell me why. And then I'll send $100 to the top 25 charities. That's
cool. Yeah, it's very cool. I was just talking to my friend Greg in Green Bay. He's giving away for the anniversary of the home purchase. He's giving away an ice cream cone at his buddy's ice cream shop, and it just makes a ton of sense. He's helping his buddy out, and
yeah,
sending something cool to people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe every summer you send an ice cream cone to the local ice cream shop to all those people.
Yeah, and what he's doing is he's sending a postcard that's basically the coupon. Like
perfect. The postcard could be the coupon. Yeah. I don't care what you do, but in general, what has worked for people is some form of personal communication every month, some form of a couple events a year, some form of mailed something every month. And we're talking about every month because remember, we're trying to develop a real strong connection.
Yeah.
Now, is it 150 random people? No, it's 150 carefully selected people. They're probably all homeowners. They're probably in the right area and price range you want to work. And they're probably influencers.
Yeah.
You see, that's what makes when I talk about the right people, can't be 150 random people. If I pick 150 random people, my results are not going to be that good. You see?
Right.
So I'm doing this program called 150 to Life, where I'm going to help people develop their 150, develop what it is they're going to do with it, and then track them as they do it through the year and see how it's working or not working or what they need to adjust. The first couple of years, you're going to be kicking a lot of people out of the system.
I was just going to ask,
replacing them with somebody else, right?
How do you decide who has to go? I guess people not engaging with you.
Yeah, so you got to figure it out. If I tried all year and you didn't engage with me at the end of the year, when I go through my list, I'm going to kick you out.
So
you see?
I'm going to create a hashtag in KV Core right now, and that hashtag is going to be 150.
Make it 150 to Life, because here's the thing: if you have the right 150, you're going to have a life again. Gotcha. Because if you're only marketing to 150 great people, 15020 LIFE. I was on hold the other day and I actually made a website, 150tolife.com. I have no guarantees as to what's in the back end of that. It may make no sense at all. It was a GoDaddy site, but I set up a website called 150 to Life that just says, look, this is what you can do. Are you interested? Let me know. So I have 3 people, I think, have signed up.
That's funny. Yeah.
And we're going to start in September and just start helping them develop it. What the heck?
So we this was pretty casual, but I'll talk to some of the other people here at Inside Real Estate that I work with, and I'll see if maybe we can do a little bit more around that particular program.
You're welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to do 2 group calls a month on it. No other topics. That's all we're going to talk about is, have you identified your 150? Who are they? What do they have in common? What are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
Are you doing it? Will you make a commitment for between now and our next call? Some accountability, because it really helps to have somebody asking you if you did what you said you would do.
So Donna, we're going to have, we have an exciting new feature coming that I don't know if everybody listening knows about, but we're going to soon be able to share campaigns in our system. So I can create a follow-up drip campaign, or that's a mix of tasks, emails and stuff. And maybe I could see the 150 being a campaign that reminds you to do certain things, like send a mailer every month. And
sure could. So here's a question a lot of people ask, you haven't asked yet, Ryan, is what do you do with all the other people?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with the other people that are not in your core group? Well, here you go. You got an email newsletter, throw them all in that. But stop trying to follow up with those people. They're not the right people.
Yeah. You could send them property alerts.
I don't care. They get something that's automated that you don't have to think about. The only people that get your personal attention are the ones that you're looking to do business, to do repeat or get referral business from.
You're touching upon something that's a big pain point for people that I hear a lot is, hey, I'm calling these people like crazy and they're not replying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why?
Yeah, why are they not replying?
Or why do you keep calling? It's fine. Let the automated stuff do its thing, and then if they surface,
let the automated stuff go, because especially if you guys have got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads going, you don't have time, guys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm calling this 150 to life. It's 150 people to get a life.
Very cool. I'm gonna build a campaign that's basically that. It's gonna be, if I hashtag somebody 150, it's gonna do 12 real good touches a year. Well, more than 12, right? It
needs to be more than 12, because you got to figure out I believe they need to get something in their hands from you. So they need to get something in their email from you that's personal, not a drip. Okay. And they need to get a phone call or text message or something. And I believe they should have if you really want it to work, I'd do it every month, all 3 of those things.
So 1 phone call a month, 1 direct mail a month, 1 newsletter, which you can probably 1 email that you can send to all 150 with personal stuff, probably.
Sure.
Or does
it's up to you. It's up to you.
1 personal email. So that's 450 touches.
There you go.
It's not a lot. That's like 20 touches a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Not too bad. I mean, it's like an hour, maybe 2.
Oh my gosh, to make 400,000 or 500,000 a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're the people you target. They're not just anybody. They're in the right price range. They're in the right area.
You like them already.
People who you already like them and they like you.
Right.
You see? So for those of you, I encourage everybody to think of 10 people like that. Just 10. Start there. Then find another 140.
Just pull out a notepad or a doc online and start cruising your Facebook list and just pull out.
Who's referred good business to you before? Because we all have that business that's come to us that we don't want any more of.
Right.
Okay. So who's referred good business to you? Right? Who have you done a pretty good job with and they're really happy? Well, anybody we sold a house to in the last 5 years is pretty happy.
Right.
Because they've all made money, right?
Right. Yep.
Who's in your neighborhood or your neighborhood you want to move to that you know? And who's your kid's best friend's mom? Right? Who is it that we can connect with that we have, if we started doing a really good job for them, they would do business with us when the time comes and they would refer others to us.
So it's kind of like, who are we interacting with? That best friend's kid's mom just made me think we're probably all interacting with a core group of at least 10 or 20 people that we just naturally
you get the start on that right away. Right? Yeah. Okay. So it's not that hard to develop once you start giving it some thought. And it feels really good to do this work because you're taking good care of people. You're telling them the interest rates just went down.
But one of the things I miss, personally, because I've been in this tech world about selling real estate was that like really personal feeling like you're a member of the community and having a lot of people kind of know you and you serving.
You're
And
coming from a spirit of contribution with those
yeah,
150.
yeah. So that's one of the best things about the business. And I think, yeah, with all the modern technology, we've gotten a little bit away
This
from that.
business is an honor and a privilege. You're
Yeah.
helping people make money as investors, or you're helping people live in the right home at the right time. People are always worried right now about the market is going to crash. Here, I've been in business long enough to know eventually the market's going to crash. Okay. Eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. So here's the thing. Does everybody you care about, are they in the house they should be in if the market were to crash? Are they in the right house for the next cycle?
Probably
if they're
not.
older, do they have a master on the main, or are they on a single level? All right. If they're a young family, are they living in a 2-bedroom? All right.
Are they at
Take a
risk of
look at
being?
where should they, I like to say it like this: go get stuck where you want to be stuck, not where you don't want to be stuck. Because when the market shifts, we all get stuck. But we get to pick now where we're going to get stuck. So go get stuck in a low interest rate home that's right for you for the next cycle.
Yeah, this is a good time to be telling people not to buy too. I know I've been,
I'm telling people to buy like crazy right now.
Well, well, sorry.
Because it's affordable. It's more affordable. I don't know if you saw KCM today. It's more affordable than at any time, and I don't know, some big long stretch of years.
Plus the fixed interest rate is going to be really nice against inflation
forever. I've been in the business long enough. When I got the business, interest rates were 13%, and everybody was thrilled because they were down from 17%.
Yeah.
For mortgages.
So you're not worried. I guess the way I should have said that is it depends on the person, but if you know somebody's buying near the top, you can still argue that, hey, it's cheaper than rent. You're locked in at like 3%. So just
go get stuck. Do you want to be stuck in a rental, or do you want to be stuck in a house with a mortgage payment that's low?
Gotcha. Right.
Where do you want to be stuck? Right.
And
where do you want to be stuck?
And the bank's paying you with the way.
Because we still have some years up, and there'll be some years that level out, and there'll be some years down. You're talking 10 or 12 years from now. If you want to wait, don't wait. Do it now. The only time better than now was yesterday. You want to know when to worry? Worry when inventory starts rising dramatically. Standing inventory starts rising. That's when you worry. That's when you better really get stuck where you need to be stuck. So right now you have options.
So this little tip, guys, I think we could all go do a social post or a video that's basically says, hey, if you're worried about buying now, no, but here's when to worry. Just swipe this from Donna.
When the inventory, I mean, guys, we're at less than 1 month remaining inventory. We are in no danger.
Right. And that'll take
a normal market is 4 to 5 months of remaining inventory.
How fast have you seen it turn in the past?
I've never seen it. Yeah, if you, I wish I could share screen with you. Sugar.
Sorry,
I have something I call the bubble graph that shows the last bubble. Okay.
Send me the link.
I don't think I have it online.
Okay.
It's a, I don't know. Anyway, I'll get it to you, Ryan. We can talk about it another time if you want me to come back and talk again. I'll talk again about the bubble.
Okay.
I'll talk about why, if we are starting a bubble, where we are in the bubble, and when to get worried. And I've got it laid out with all the data.
Got it.
Okay.
Very cool. Does anybody have any feedback or questions? Chantel says, great tips. Thank you. I knew when you came on that this would happen, and Mike would do the same thing. So I'm glad you guys are separate. you guys,
we work together, but here's the thing is I was telling somebody earlier today. So Mike does about 40% of his time on coaching, and he does about 40% of his time on real estate sales, and he does about 20% of his time being grandpa and being on church boards and homeowners association boards and real estate boards and working out, right? So that's what he does with his time. I'm 90% coaching.
Gotcha.
So that's so he becomes a little less scheduled than I am.
Gotcha. Yeah. So guys, I know we talked that there might be some FSBO content today. Mike has, and I know you do too, Donna. I'll try to schedule something structured.
FSBO course. If you go back to my website for a second, I'll show you. I can show you how to get there.
Yeah.
So go to yourcoachingmatters.com, go to purchase courses.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's FSBOcourse.com, learn more.
Yeah.
See it?
Just so everybody knows, there is zero relationship between Inside Real Estate and Your Coaching Matters.
Yeah, none.
On this stuff.
Okay. So there's a video there, an hour and 20-minute video there. If you click on FSBOcourse.com, go ahead and learn more. You'll see. And there's an hour and 29-minute video, and you can watch it for free.
Oh, awesome. Because that's what Mike would have done with me today.
So yeah, if he was going to talk to you, he would be saying to you what's on this video.
Cool. I'll drop this link in the chat here.
Sure.
To everybody. Donna, thank you. We try to keep this to an hour to respect everybody's time.
Absolutely. I've been talking nonstop since 1, so my voice is a little sore. So but I'd love to come back another time, Ryan. Thanks for the opportunity.
I think we'll do it more again. I'll talk to you offline. I'd love to explore that numbers tracker a little more personally and see what we can do.
Perfect.
Forward. Yeah. Thanks, Donna.
Happy to help.
All right.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
We'll see you guys later. We'll be back Tuesday with more next level stuff. If you guys have any topics that you'd like to have discussed, I know the past few weeks have been a little weird. We're in a summer mode. We've had some guests. But if there's any tactical stuff you want us to get back to with respect to ads or Google or Facebook or anything like that, just let us know in the next level members area or chat us up in the Facebook group. And as always, guys, thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week, Tuesday at the same time. See you later. Yeah, and then Donna's email is right there, but you can just go to Your Coaching Matters to connect with her.